Good morning. Today is Wednesday, September 13th. I'm Will Snyder, and this is this week's edition of Across Campus.
Take me all the way home, 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 home. Take me all the way home, 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 home. Take me all the way home.
Seniors, it feels like it was just yesterday when we were freshmen. Claire and Tristan talked to some seniors about their changes throughout these 4 years.
In August 2014, this year's senior class arrived at BL as freshmen.
And since then, we've had 4 years to mature before we get ready to graduate and move on to college.
But before we go, we wanted to take a look back and see how much we've changed from our first year at Bishop Lynch.
Here I am.
Looks like a little weasel.
You definitely look pretty pale there.
Yeah, I that's definitely because I used a shade lighter foundation. That's disappointing.
For the only.
Oh no! Oh no!
Kenny, you don't
look bad.
Yes, I do. Oh.
Yeah, I don't even know how I didn't get a girl back then, man. I was cute, you know.
What do you think has changed the most about you?
A lot, probably.
What do you mean, probably?
Well, I mean, that blonde streak I had, I think that's what I hid in this picture by putting it behind my.
What
I
did
put
you
my
have?
hair on one side. I had a big blonde streak right here.
I remember that, and it was
It
yeah.
was really ugly, and everyone called me Anna from Frozen.
Ooh, why is this in here? You're not gonna put this on the screen, are you?
You want me to look at my girlfriend's picture? I can do that.
Make fun of her.
Or you can look at her freshman year.
Wow, she looks great. You look amazing. Please don't hurt me.
And oh look, there I am, with very long hair and braces.
Okay, so there it is.
Oh, hair.
I don't look that different. I look the same except for my hair. I'm still good looking.
What was different about you back then? Was your personality different? Did you hang out with different people?
I'm a little bit more shy back then. Yeah, I was on the football team. Actually helped getting to have some friends because I was kind of new. I had just moved from Guam.
Personality-wise, what has changed? I'd say I know how to stand up for myself now.
I think my confidence level has changed a lot because freshman year I was really concerned about like my image and stuff like that. But now I'm just being me.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've definitely like put myself out there more. Kind of started being myself like to everyone.
Knowing what you do now as a senior, what advice would you give to freshman Kester that would make high school a whole lot easier for him?
Don't make 70s in freshman year and sophomore year.
I would have worked so much harder on my grades because like then I wouldn't have to be stressing about college applications. But that and yeah, that's it.
I would tell my freshman self to mentally prepare for her upcoming years because classes are hard. Yep.
Probably to branch out more because I was really shy as a freshman. So like, I had only a few friends, and then I guess junior year I started making more friends. So just to like be more outgoing.
Cause senior year you gotta like apply for colleges, stuff like that. And junior year, you gotta like do good for colleges. But freshman, sophomore year, you could have like easily had a good GPA, and that would have helped you a lot.
Pretty much just fix your eyebrows. It's just my eyebrows. If I didn't have braces, but that wasn't really my choice.
Because I think freshman year, the idea of like high school was so new to me, and I'm just like, ooh, what's going on? And just having been through those freshman, sophomore, and junior years, senior year right now, it's just like everything's less crazy, everything's less new, and you're so used to everything. And that's probably why I've kind of like broken out of that shell and pushed myself to join more clubs, organizations, and groups, which is definitely worth my while. It's time consuming, but it's definitely worth it.
just do more things. Like don't stay in that shell. Obviously, like I got out of it, but as a freshman, I didn't really do much. Like didn't want to go to football games, you know. Not a lot of people from Christ the King came here, so not all, like, people did, but not all my best friends, so I don't know, I had trouble at first making friends.
But now you have friends, so it's okay.
Everyone likes me now.
The last 2 weeks across the board have been filled with moments and highlights from Bishop Lynch Athletics. Jared and Max have this week's broadcast of Jam Sports.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another BL Sports segment for Jam Sports. We're your hosts, Max Danielson.
And I'm Jared Hedges.
Jared, a couple nights ago was the home opener for the Bishop Lynch Friars football team, and we even broadcast that game, the first ever led student sports broadcast, and I think we did a really good job, wouldn't you say?
We had a blast doing it too, and start of the game, it's always fun to see a kick return for the very first play of the game.
An 84-yard kick return by sophomore Charles Crawford. They would go on to win the game 48-7 against Irving High. Some of the key stats for that game were from Jordan Hudson. He had 3 touchdowns and 71 rushing yards. Jacob Lewis also had 9 attempts for 44 rushing yards and 1 reception for 43 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. Ryan Corcoran also had 7 attempts for 37 yards and 1 touchdown. And Jarrett Channel 3 Broussard had 3 attempts for 33 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, Jared, on defense, we mentioned this name quite a lot during the broadcast. Whose name was that?
The Murphy twins.
Both
Grayson
of them,
and
actually.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Grayson had 8 tackles, a forced fumble, and a sack. You heard their names. If you were listening to the broadcast, you heard Max and I say their names quite often.
And we even put in a contest to see how many times did we call it in that broadcast. We didn't really get a response, but that's okay. And also Jeremy Irving, he had 4 tackles and 1 forced fumble. Their next game is at Kaufman this Friday, September 15th. And for the Lady Friar volleyball team, as of Monday, September 11th, they are 19-4 on the season, and last week won both their 50th and 51st consecutive district win.
And last Tuesday, the Lady Friars, for their 50th consecutive victory, they beat Nolan, winning by the scores of 25-15, 25-16, and 25-14. And then for their 51st consecutive victory, the Lady Friars got off to a slow start, losing the first set 18-25. Then they won the next 3 sets to secure a victory by winning 25-21, 25-16, and 25-19.
And they also played on Monday versus Parish Episcopal, and they also played Tuesday versus Ursuline, and they play on Thursday against Bishop Dunn. And last week, the cross-country team for both the Friars and Lady Friars started their season at the James Smith Invitational. The Lady Friars took 6th of 12th place, and the Friars took 9th place out of 14.
With the Lady Friars finishing in 6th place, they were led by Anna Schrader, who finished 22nd, Alyssa Dryden, who finished 23rd, and Annie Stewart, who finished 29th. And the men's, while they finished 9th out of 14th, like you said, they were led by Luke Hernandez, who finished 10th, and then Ryan Schaefer, who finished 19th. And this Saturday, both the Lady Friars and Friar cross-country teams will compete in the Gerald Ritchie Invitational. Max, I believe this concludes our high school segment for Jam Sports, as we thank you for watching.
And as always, a good evening, a good afternoon, or good morning to wherever you may be watching. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of Across Campus. We'll see you next week, where the news is, right where you are, across campus.